Matcha and minds, we stir it up right.
Sustainability shining, ideas take flight. Innovations brewing, connections the key. With a mindful cup of matcha, come sip with EGF and C.
Welcome to Matcha and Minds, where matcha fuels our conversations about the future of events. My name is Morwesi, and I'm your host. In each episode, we explore stories, ideas, and the power of thinking sustainably. Today, we're with Joey Swart from Take Note Event Management. So grab your cup, settle in, and let's brew something meaningful. Thank you for being here, Joey. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you, Morwesi?
I'm very good. Let's take it from the top. Talk to us about how you started your company, what was happening, and what got you into this wonderful industry.
So in 2009,
Yes.
I was doing work for my cousin. She asked me to take part in the CatVac Society conference in Sandton. And we worked hard. I never ran so much in my life, but it was so awesome. And that was my first conference that I did. Connecting with the people and educating them. And even though we ran around a lot and worked so hard, I think I slept for 2 weeks after that. It was spectacular. And that's when I realized that that was something that I loved doing. And the seed was planted there for going into events. But I then started at another company, did society management, and only started doing smaller conferencing events within that spectre in the healthcare industry. And that is where it slowly but certainly started building into me realizing this is what I really, really enjoy to do.
Wonderful. And your events truly are known for having quite an impact in the health sector. Talk to us a little bit about that and why specifically that sector?
Well, while I was working at Healthman, we were really dealing directly with the healthcare providers and specialists, specifically in private practice. And we saw how government and NHI and HPCSA and all of the laws and regulations and medical schemes impacted healthcare providers and specialists in their private practices and how many threats and dangers and challenges they had within the industry. So I gained a lot of experience within that area, and that's where we started doing business events for them, and we did it in-house at the company to help save the client a little bit of costs, and that's how I started growing into doing more events types with conferencing and gala dinners and connecting in exhibits and so on, getting in sponsorships. And that is where the passion started growing about what was needed in the healthcare industry, what the challenges were that the doctors in private practice faced.
That's fascinating. So you're quite a specialist event business, right? In that you understand your sector intimately, and it sounds like you also add value to your clients in the industry, and that how you curate events. I mean, do you provide events that clients want to have, or do you actually create and curate events and lead the industry as well?
So we do events for clients.
For clients,
we do their conferencing, whether it's a clinical event or whether it's a business related event. But we do sit with the client, and especially where it's the business conferences, we've networked with so many people in the industry that we can assist them with speakers and topics. And because we work with a variety of clients, we sometimes pull a speaker in and then we get to the next client and we realize, oh, but you know what? This topic will work so well. So we not only assist the client with putting their programs together, but we've started seeing the need within the healthcare industry to curate our own conferences. And earlier in the year, we did a business symposium where we invited occupational therapists and physiotherapists and specialists and everybody that we had contact with to a one-day workshop where we covered business topics, helping them, empowering them within their businesses, because they have no idea how to run a business. So we are educating them and we're connecting them with the key people that knows about HR and finances and all of those items that make a business run smoothly and financially strong.
So, you do so much already, on the business front for your customers, but you've added sustainability to it. Talk to us about why you have developed this passion for sustainability and where it comes from.
Well, for many years within my own household,
Right.
I started doing recycling and sustainability and looking at the environment with some irritation sometimes from the household, the teenagers rolling their eyes, mother is mad.
Yeah.
But that's gone through to them as well.
Yeah.
And also then within the business, we decided, we want to be sustainable, use less paper, and see how we can now start using suppliers that is sustainable and trying to teach and educate not just our clients, but also our delegates on sustainability and greening.
That's fantastic. And you have gone further and are now a member of the Event Greening Forum. What led you there and what's your experience there?
Well, when I started my business, I came across the Event Greening Forum.
Okay.
And I went and did a little bit of research and I thought to myself, well, this is a no-brainer. This is where I have to be with my business.
Correct.
If I want to place my business in that area of greening and sustainability, I need the knowledge to do that so that I can give that information through to my clients and my delegates. And so it was absolutely a no-brainer to join EGF. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe it's important for me to become part of the management so that we can start leading the way to show people how to do this. And that's how I came across EGF. And I'm so glad that I am part of this amazing organization that is making a difference.
Lovely. That's so wonderful. And you can see that, sustainability is really not just about, this great, big, hairy objective, that's global. It actually begins at home. And you've demonstrated that from right in your own home, right in your own office. But talk to us now about your clients. As you are convinced about this, but now you need to actually sell this concept and this idea and this culture really more than anything. How is that going? And what is the reception like from your clients when you now need to convert their events into a more sustainable event?
Dealing with our clients. So when we get the client on board, that first meeting, we always come in with the pitch of, we have to do this event green and sustainable.
Nice.
And I must say, up to now, we've not had any resistance.
Oh, wow.
Our clients are so keen to do that. And in the beginning of the year, we did a conference for the pulmonologists. So it's lungs.
Yes.
And when I mentioned that, they said, oh, yes, they're on board.
Great.
And we got a beautiful logo done that showcases the lungs with plants and trees and things growing out of it.
Oh, wow.
And we went with this entire greening, the green colors and greening effort. And everybody, part of the committee and the delegates, was so enjoyed this theme of sustainability and healthy lungs.
Great.
So we haven't had a lot of resistance from clients. When we tell them that this is what we want to do,
yes,
they are on board.
I'm very happy to hear that, because in some other quarters, some clients might feel that, there's an additional cost or an additional burden to actually making your event green, whereas it might be cheaper, quicker, faster to actually just do, a generic event, even if it's not sustainable. So that's quite encouraging. And then maybe talk to us then about some of the choices also that you make, strategic choices when you are planning an event and the client has now agreed that, yes, I'm happy to make it green. And I know this is quite a broad question, but choose whichever area you want, whether it's logistics or food choices or venue choice or accommodation, whatever. Please feel free to take us through some of the things that you consider.
Yes, so obviously when we meet with the client, the first point that we have to look at is a theme. And that's when we incorporate the sustainability and suggest to them, what sustainability theme would we like to do?
Yeah.
So we always link that onto the theme. Then it's the normal logistics of choosing the venue. And we like to choose venues that's also sustainable.
Right.
We always look at those venues that are sustainable. Then it's the audio-visual, getting a good audio-visual team on board. Traveling and accommodation and all of those are the normal logistics that an events company deals with.
Yeah.
Then when we look at content, we sit closely with the client to assist them with curating the program and come up with ideas of good presentations and speakers and ideas. So we don't just give it over to the client and say, the program is your problem. We negotiate and talk and see what we can do on bringing in a fun, engaging, interactive program. Then, of course, a big thing which no conference can do without or event is sponsorship. Money. We need the money. And when we approach our sponsors, we also ask them, use sustainable products on your stands. Don't do big stand builds. Rather use the money to maybe sponsor our green, sustainable, plantable lanyards, or buy nice, sustainable conference bags. Use sustainable products, and they are always keen to do that. So save money on building a big stand and rather use it to allocate funds somewhere else for the conference. That way, even though, and unfortunately, going green is not always cheaper.
For sure.
It can be costly. But if we start educating our sponsors and our exhibitors on thinking in a different direction, we can allocate those funds to cover those costs.
Right.
So when you look at a conference of, say, for instance, R1 million, then when you look at the cost that you would have normally spent on your normal name badges with pouches, and they're not that expensive, going into a more greener option, it may be a little bit more expensive, but it's still a fraction of that total cost.
Right.
So, and then, we take it through, we do amazing videos for our clients, where we also continuously bring through a greening and sustainability theme.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, I think that goes through to your delegates and the people. They pick up on that, which is amazing.
Right.
And then obviously we get through the event. It all goes amazing because we only do amazing events. We only do spectacular. And then wrap up with the client.
Yeah.
And then start looking at what we are doing next with them. And I think that's more or less how a conference for us would go, an event. And then gala dinners, we also love to do.
Yes.
Bring a little bit of a green element in, go low-key on our decor, come in with more natural products on for a gala dinner.
Right.
And really seeing how we can very subtly bring the message through to our clients and their delegates.
Absolutely wonderful. Talk to us a little bit about the food aspects, because food waste is quite a big issue with the industry, but it's also an opportunity, I think, for impact around the waste management aspect of sustainability. What choices do you make, or how do you make your food choices, your menu choices, for example? And also talk to us about the management of the food waste now at an event level scale, which is much, much, much bigger.
When selecting a venue, we always ask them, what are their protocols with regards to food? Do they have projects that they contribute to? So we do know that a lot of the venues, a certain amount of the food that's left over goes into the kitchen, and the staff is allowed to do that. And we actually were at a venue this past weekend where I asked them that same question, and they did say that they had a program where they would take that food to specific areas.
Nice.
And we love working with venues like that.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, we do also sometimes take food. And I actually did that this weekend. I took a whole batch of muffins and handed it out as I was driving home. And it makes such a big difference. One thing that I've also always learned, there's always too much food at these conferences.
Right.
So I always come in with a little bit less on my numbers. So if I have 120 delegates, I may say to them, prepare for 100.
Okay.
And then I know that we will cover everybody. There will still be enough food for everybody. So it's all about looking at your venue, depending on your venue, of course. So we get to know the venues that we can use and where we can play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And also that saves a bit of costs for the client when we come in with a little bit less. But I think those are what you look at your venues and how you can, and then you choose food, obviously, that also can, won't go to waste.
Great. That's wonderful. I'm very excited, going back also to some of your sustainable choices that you make. You mentioned lanyards that do what?
Oh, we have got amazing lanyards. So last year we did the ENT conference, the 60th ENT conference. So it was quite a big one.
Okay.
And we decided to go full green on this one and sustainable.
Nice.
And we pulled Expo guys in who did beautiful green stands for us. We had Malansians who donated 300 seedlings for us. And
Wow.
Mzansi Water, who gave us recycled bottles.
Nice.
And we put these seedlings inside the bottles. And these were vertical vegetable gardens on the exhibition.
Wow.
And after the conference, we donated this into a community identified by Tshwane, City of Tshwane.
Mhm.
And we went and planted this for them, educated them on how to start a vegetable garden and maintain it. Beautiful. But then we had the seeded lanyards. And I actually brought one with to show
What?
you. So we've got a little bit of lettuce.
This is exciting.
And we've got a little bit of tomatoes. And we've got carrots. And what's so nice about these,
Yeah.
they have got little seeds. So it shows there
Yes.
where the seed is.
Mm-hmm.
This one's upside down.
Yeah.
It shows there where the seed is.
Yes.
And this green strip shows how deep it must go into the ground.
What?
So it's perfectly spaced
Yes.
for lettuce. So that is how far the lettuce must be spaced. And you'll notice with carrots, it's differently spaced and the strip at the top is different.
My word.
So you just clip off your clip, which is also sustainable. And then you will open up your lanyard.
Yes.
And you'll make your line in the ground and you will put this in the ground.
Can I see the green one because it matches the matcha?
Yes. And then inside, it shows you where to plant, when to plant, and when to harvest.
This is unbelievable.
So when we tell delegates about these,
yeah,
they go mad. They like, we tell them, oh, this is your lanyard, and we put them on for them, and you can plant this. And they're, oh, that's nice. And then we're like, no, you can actually plant this. And they're shocked. And then people want all of them. So we had beetroot and chilies and spinach and all kinds of, they've got 35 varieties. So
Okay.
we've taken hands with Real Gardening, who's
Yes.
also part of the Event Greening Forum.
yes.
And we are now doing all of our conferences with seeded lanyards. And then what we did was we are no longer using plastic pouches for our name badges
Yes.
because it's plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
We have worked with our printers to get a card that's strong enough that won't tear.
Yeah.
And so we've got and the next step that we want to do is do seeded name badges.
Okay.
So you can plant your name badge and your lanyard.
Wow. Talk about keeping your food where your mouth is. I like this. This
Absolutely.
is actually quite innovative. I'm very excited about this. And I think this is something definitely worth sharing with everyone. Really like it. And
Absolutely.
how has the reception been? You said it's been fantastic.
People love
Have
it.
you seen some of the veggies that have been grown out of this?
We haven't, but we've heard from people that said, oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
And really, people come and then they just grab another lanyard because they
Yeah.
want all of the flavors. So it's amazing. What's
is
also
great.
nice is that now our sponsors and the companies start
Mhm.
seeing this.
yes.
And then they ask us, where can we get these?
Yeah.
So now we are introducing to the companies, the pharmaceutical companies, stop using these other lanyards. Start using plantable lanyards because you can
Correct.
brand it. So
Yeah.
they brand it for you on your little clip. And you can actually also get it branded on.
The actual
packaging.
Okay, that's great.
And so we are starting to introduce people to using sustainable products.
That's great.
And that is what we want to do.
I love that. You
Educating people.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It sounds like you're really cutting edge when it comes to innovation, and most excited about this. I didn't know this, so I'm very
They are
excited,
awesome.
and I'm keeping this. Can I?
You can keep that one.
Thank you. Great. So, tell me more then about what you think the future is. In your particular space. I mean, I think a lot of people might think health is so sort of linear and also so very specific. it's really about just livelihoods and healthy lifestyles and whatnot. And there isn't so much excitement that can happen in there. But you've proven to us that actually you can, and that there's a lot of space to actually make an impact as well from a sustainability perspective. What are some of the things you're thinking could be possibilities in the future? What's your outlook from what you do and as a company and as an eventing organizer as well?
We are hoping that we can get more people to start thinking green.
Nice.
There's so much money in the events industry going to, if I think about what a stand build costs, 2, 3, 400,000 rand on massive stand builds. And if they would just start looking at using exhibition builders to that do more sustainable stands and start and also not spend so much money on that, rather start focusing on giving money where we can start helping other people. The cochlear implant group conference that we just did,
Yes.
we need money it's an NPO. We need some money for them to start helping people with cochlear implants, not just the cochlear implant, but also the aftercare of that. And so much money is going to waste on all of these big, massive things, and it's beautiful. But let's start looking at going more green, about making a difference and empowering people. It's not just about the sustainability, but it's about empowering people. That's what we did with our ENT conference. We empowered a community. We didn't just, so many thoughts went into what do we want to do with our conference, with the committee.
Right.
And what are we going to give them? And I said, but we should not just give them stuff, because we can give them computers, but there's maintenance. Why don't we give them something that can empower them? And you know that saying of you can give a guy a fish and you can feed him for a day, but if you teach him to fish.
Correct.
And that's the concept of what I think we should do within our event spaces, is to start empowering and educating and training people so that they can start doing their own things. Train them on starting businesses. And we can, with that vegetable garden concept, that's something that someone can make a business of.
Correct.
So we want to educate them in that.
I can't help but feel like you actually have a real passion for development, professional development, and just empowerment. Is this something that goes beyond the eventing side of things? Is this something quite close to your heart?
Yes, definitely. I've faced some serious challenges in my life, and that I had to overcome. And it was a long, hard journey. It wasn't always easy. And I realized as a female, having these challenges that we're facing, that I have a strong passion for empowering not just women but people, because I tell my stories to people and I see how it affects them, and how it helps them to make a decision of maybe walking out of a toxic relationship, or changing a job, or taking that step of starting a business.
Wow.
You know, I had a chat with a waitress yesterday, and she's still studying, and I'd said to her, work towards your dream.
Nice.
Make it happen.
Nice.
Don't just be, study and go look for a job. If you want to start a business, work towards that. And I think that's what we want to do. I know that's what we want to do with Take Note Event Management. It's not just events. We are in the business of empowering people.
I absolutely love that. Really quite touching and quite warming. Joey, and I want to tie this back into the business and the industry as well. A little birdie told me that you also sing.
Yes.
You also sing, but in the eventing space, entertainment is quite an important part of the experience, the delegates' experience as well. And I think from a sustainability perspective, I'm understanding that, part of the entertainment should also, as much as possible, incorporate local people, local bands, local artists, and the like. What's your attitude about that? And also as a jazz singer yourself, well, you can tell us more about what you sing specifically, but what's your attitude and thinking around entertainment at events?
Well, Joey has an alter ego, Jojo, the jazz singer. Oh, yeah, of course. So Jojo goes hand in hand with Joey. Joey is the organizer.
Yeah.
I'm focused, I'm planned, everything runs smooth. And she has her hands full with Jojo, who just does her own thing and gets away with murder some days. But Jojo is the energy and the passion and that little something that goes with Joey and that ignites a little bit of something with the clients and the delegates. I tend to work with people and they like the energy that is in my job and in my work is so part of me. I've had clients that said, oh, she's like popcorn. It goes like this the whole time, you know. So the energy that's there.
Yeah.
But with that said, when I do an event in Cape Town, I love to make use of the local people there, whether it's the AV company or photographers or decor or entertainers.
Right.
When we're in Johannesburg, when we're in Pretoria, when we're in Mhlanga, wherever we are, we want to empower the local people, the suppliers and the entertainers.
Entertainment as well,
So I do like to I build a big network of entertainers, people that I know. There's no competition here.
Right.
It is, you've got your niche and I've got my niche.
Correct.
I love to entertain my guests, and I think I entertain them right from the word go when I start with the conference, right to the last minute. And at our cochlear implant conference, Jojo had to sing to the moms, you know. We had to do a little bit of unforgettable. But that is also part of my business.
Yes. Yeah.
And incorporating musicians and entertainers and the people that are in that area to come and wow our guests and our delegates.
Wonderful. It's really quite important that. So as we come to a close, what advice would you give to other, aspiring event organizers who are daunted by this whole thing? I mean, you've done something quite unique in that you actually are very specific into a particular sector, and you're a niche player, which I think is quite commendable, because it might sound easier to actually just be a generalist. So, but in general, what advice would you give to anyone who's looking at this and thinking, wow, I'd like to also get into the space?
When starting your business, when you're deciding to go into that, from the word go, decide that what you want for your business, how you want to stand out, and that you want to be sustainable, that you want to make an impact, that you want to leave a legacy. And then obviously the no-brainer is join EGF, because if you want to learn how to run an event that's sustainable and green, you want to connect with the people that knows how to do that. So be passionate about what you do, but more important, be passionate about what your client does. And then you're going to see the difference in your events.
Unbelievable. And really, really just unbelievably amazing what you do. Thank you so much, Joey. It's been such an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm actually excited. And after this, I need to hear from Jojo, right?
Thank you, Morwesi. It was lovely chatting.
No, it's been really, really lovely. And on that note, it's a wrap. I hope you've taken away a lot of good, powerful, and empowering lessons from Joey and everything that she's done and achieved so far. And please don't forget to follow us on the socials. Just search for Matcha and Minds, and you'll be able to follow us and click and share and do all those wonderful things. And on that note, it's a wrap. Thank you, Joey.